Well, hi everybody. I'm Gary Sinclair on this very special day in our country. As most of you know, it's Inauguration Day. It's another in a long line of celebrations that started with George Washington in 1789. Legend says that several opposing party members, even then, refused to attend. Apparently it had something to do with a cherry tree or something like that. Years later, George Washington considered not attending the inauguration of Thomas Jefferson because Tom's picture got put on the 5 and Washington's was only on the 1. He's a little bummed about that. But back to today. There are, of course, an array of emotional responses being felt and shared by many, I would suppose, from, I really don't care, or, oh, is that today? Or, I couldn't wait for this day to come, to, the world is going to end within weeks, I know it. Nonetheless, every inauguration has its pomp and circumstance, whatever pomp is, with people dressed in their finest, only to be outdone by the ladies at the Kentucky Derby. According to Wikipedia, which of course is correct based on the input of average everyday people, how could anything go wrong with that, describes some of the detail this way. The only inauguration element mandated by the United States Constitution is that the president make an oath or affirmation before that person can join or be a part of the office of the presidency. Sounds pretty simple. Wikipedia continues, however, over the years, various traditions have arisen that have expanded the inauguration from a simple oath-taking ceremony to a day-long event, including parades and speeches and balls. Yeah, there are floats, I suppose, more pomp, marching bands, horses, speeches from people we've never heard of, food and alcohol, and yes, presidents who can't dance. Well, as a musician, I always like to find out what's the pop song that will be the one that serves as the inaugural song for the balls, and you hear it all the time anyway. For example, Hillary Clinton used Believer, with ironically a line in it, I don't want to let it go. Husband Bill in his campaign, of course, highlighted Don't Stop with the rather unprophetic words, yesterday's gone, yesterday's gone. Really, Bill? And you can think what you want about this one, but Barack Obama used Springsteen's We Take Care of Our Own. Finally, is it any surprise that President Trump, for his first run, picked I'm not going to take it anymore? But seriously, whatever it is you're feeling today, I want to suggest and even urge all of us to seriously consider 5 things that I think could change the temperature, the spirit, confidence, and attitude of our country and its people, even more so than it's done of late. Let me be clear, as politicians often say, that these 5 items and actions aren't really just for inaugurations or for this one, or those within our own party. No, we're just being wise and really obedient to God's guidance to do them. So here we go. First, and perhaps the most important, is to pray. Yes, as I just said, even for those who we didn't or wouldn't vote for, we're to pray anyway. Pray for wisdom, for insight, long-range vision, loving boldness, courage, speaking the truth in love, for safety. We know how important that is. Being compassionate while firmly upholding the law and wisdom. Pray for common sense and a solid awareness of the importance of right and wrong and what that is. See, 1 Timothy 2, 1 and 2 says, I urge then, first of all, that all requests, prayers, intercessions, and thanksgiving be made for everyone, for kings and all those in authority, that we may live peaceful and quiet lives in all godliness and holiness. Notice, there are no mentions of parties or differences or other qualifiers. Just pray. Second, we need to do our part and commit to following and supporting the rules, the laws, and decisions of that leadership. Hebrews 13:17 says, obey your leaders and submit to their authority. Obey them so that their work will be a joy. See, what if we just took time to now and then send our key leaders a note, email, text, whatever works for you, thanking them for their work, applauding them for good decisions and for their leadership in general, and when they speak the truth in love, even as we have concerns. Of course, if leaders are asking us to do something clearly wrong, life-threatening to us or others, or just plain illegal, then we ought to do otherwise, and we'd have to talk about that. But either way, remember, God's still in control, so we're to do what we can to make their work fulfilling and successful, as we just read. Third, speak out or correspond appropriately with those who choose not to follow what we believe are God's basic principles and our governmental guidelines. We might be a spokesperson, or we might just write or even publicly connect with those officials who leave kind of truth behind or choose to undermine the government's leadership. And if you're in a party, then be bold enough to disagree with your party's elite even, and make the choices you believe are right more than merely popular. However, be firm, but still be gracious. Be prepared beforehand and do your homework on the issues likely to be discussed. Speaking of homework, number 4, don't believe everything you see or hear online about candidates, leaders, and their supposed next steps or plans. Dig deeper before using a certain illustration or story as part of your common discussions with others or even the leaders themselves. Ask for examples when people throw out some wild implication, statement, or supposed justification for attacking a leader. Ask for specifics. In fact, require them to do the same before you'll comment or return a response. Too many leaders kind of get a hall pass to the bathroom, and as a result, don't have to respond to tough questions, especially ones that ask for proof. Fifthly, be the person you want others to be and become. Model your side of the story. Don't debate it any more than you think it's still helpful. I call it the Nike response. Just do it. Model fairness, compassion, justice, love, and kindness. Don't waste your time arguing with the foolish. Those are the ones who aren't going to change. Take your stand and then show people how to live in wisdom, not in hearsay. Again, be prepared. Colossians 4:6 says, let your conversation always be full of grace, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how to answer everyone. Salt's a preservative, remember? Our leaders have some of the hardest jobs in the world. Some will do them well, others not so much. But let's pray that they'll all take the lead on doing the best quality job they can do. And let's help them where we can, share ideas that may make them better leaders, and model how to express dissent in firm but loving ways. And if God's nudging you, take the plunge and start the process to run for office. I'm thinking about it. I just don't have my song yet. Talk to you soon. Thanks for listening.